never forget.
So today we're joined by one of the few young South Africans that have decided to blog as a full-time occupation. Tastemakers Moli, best known as Twiggy Moli, has grown her love for writing into a web-based blog called Sleepless in Soweto, where she expresses her interests, shares some of her life, and provides brands with a platform to advertise their products and services, collaborating with her as a third-party endorser due to the influence value that they see in her. So we've invited her here today as a top blogger endorsed by Celebrity Services Africa and The Plug magazine, where she was also a cover girl, along with Threaded Man, The Wellness Warehouse, Club X, and most recently, The Throne. She has been a collaborator with brands such as Ray-Ban, Clarins, Cotton On, Spree, and Hunters, just to name a few. So we're very excited to have her here today to share her journey, which is really a testament to the opportunities that the internet has offered young Black South Africans. But it also provides clarity on the realities of being a digital entrepreneur in a country that's very behind in the move toward digitally based systems and operations. So I'm going to hand over to Twiggy, and she's going to chat, and then afterwards we can have a Q&A with her and, you know, just engage her on her journey so far. Thank you.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming on Saturday to chat to me about my career. So for those of you that don't know, my name is Tsepang, but obviously online I'm known as Twiggy. I'm a lifestyle and fashion blogger. I'm just going to tell you guys a bit more about my journey and how I started, just to give you like some background. I went to UCT with the hopes of being a magazine editor one day. I was obsessed with like 17 magazine and Saltwater Girl, and I was like, one day I want to write for these magazines, you know, and be like a proper fashion girl. And I think at that time it was like 2011, so being a blogger wasn't a thing in South Africa. I didn't know that I could actually go into that as a career. So being the magazine girl was my dream. I did film and media studies where I specialized in radio production, which was also a weird turn because I didn't ever see myself on radio, but I enjoyed that. Then after UCT, I went to Vega, and that was only because my mom felt doing a BA degree was not enough. You have to get your honors, because it's not like doing law or medicine where as soon as you graduate, you get a job that's well paying. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll do my honors at Vega. So I did brand strategy, which was very, very interesting. It was more practical than theoretical, as UCT was. I have a lot of regrets of going to UCT because there was a lot of studying and theory, and you weren't actually doing the actual job. So I had a lot to say in terms of writing, but I didn't have the experience in terms of like the practical work. So I really enjoyed that about Vega. Like, we really got to work hands-on with other people, with brands, and that was really interesting. And during my year at Vega, there was a girl called Talia Goldberg, who was also from UCT, and at that time she had already started blogging. So her and another girl called Amy had a workshop, like a blogging workshop. And at this time, brands had already started inviting me to events. I had Instagram, but I wasn't that, like, my Instagram wasn't curated. It was literally like me taking a photo now and posting it, like, oh, I'm going to the movies with my friends. It was really whack. But for some reason, brands saw that and they liked it. They're like, okay, this girl has a booming social life. She's always going out, lunches, dinners, whatever. So I started getting invited to these events that brands have, like if Mr. Price is launching their autumn-winter collection, then they'll have like a launch party. So I started going to those, and that's where I met Talia, and she was like, I'm having this workshop. So if you can, please attend. Like, if you're really serious about being a blogger, please attend. And it was 500 Rand, and at that time I'm a student. So I was just like, I don't have 500 Rand. But I asked my uncle, who was paying for my fees at the time, I was like, I really want to go to this workshop. And obviously he's an engineer. He doesn't understand what blogging is. He doesn't understand the importance of me going to this workshop was. But he gave me the money. I like I managed to buy my ticket on time before it sold out. I got to this event and it was like a super branded workshop. Like they had brands on board, the venue was paid for, everything was paid for, and I was just like, I can see where my money is going, you know. Obviously, with the girls that organized it, they probably didn't have to pay for anything, but we got a lot out of it. It was worth my money. At that workshop, Talia and Amy literally took us through the platforms that you need to sign up to, the kind of cameras you need to use when you're shooting your content, the kind of content you need to work on and build on. And I was in a space with other girls who were eager as I was to get into the blogging industry. So it was very nice because after that, we all got to switch contacts and just chat about like the session that we just had. And I think it was on that day that I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to take this blogging thing seriously. Before the workshop, I was on Tumblr. And you know, Tumblr is just reblogging pictures, like it's nothing real. So at that workshop, they told us, no, get onto WordPress, register your domain, all the stuff that I've never heard about in my life. I didn't even know to research that to know that that's how things were supposed to be done. But I left that workshop with so much knowledge and motivation that I decided to take my blog seriously. I finished at Vega, and as part of graduating, you have to do an internship at an agency. So because I'm from Johannesburg, I left Vega, Cape Town, and did my internship here in Johannesburg at Joe Public, which is an ad agency, and I was a junior strategy, like intern. I was an intern in the strategy department, and it wasn't anything like, wow. It was just like, okay, I've got a 9 to 5, and I have to finish this in order to graduate. But the team loved me, and they asked me to join them the following year permanently, and I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to do it. So I went and I started working as a junior strategist, and it was fun, but the kind of brands that I was working with weren't so fun. It was like Nedbank, MTN, and I was like, this is boring. So I started exploring the agency, and I got poached by the PR company, the PR department. And they're like, come join us, it's fun this side. And it looked fun because all the girls that worked in PR dressed up, like they looked really nice, you know? And they were working with like some fashion brands, they were working with like cool brands. I was like, this is more my vibe more than strategy. So I worked there, and my boss was horrible. So I had all the regrets, like why did I move from strategy that was boring, but everyone treated me well, to a place where it looked nice, but it wasn't really the best. But that tough time I had in the PR department actually pushed me to pursue blogging full time. I literally told my mom one day, like, listen, this 9 to 5 thing is not for me. It's not working. And my mom was like, are you crazy? Who's going to give you that set salary every month? Because I'm not working. And that money that you're getting is for both of us. So what is your plan? And I was like, I don't know, but it's not this. And it's not going to another agency either, because it's all the same. And it took a lot, but I think a week or 2 weeks later, I resigned. And I think resigning pushed me and motivated me to focus on the content that I was putting out, focus on my blogging, focus on getting brands to approach me and to see me. And in that time, I was, my cousin had also just graduated from Cape Town, and she was living in Joburg, so we were going out a lot. And my mom didn't understand it, but now when she looks back, she's like, you know, you being at Taboo every weekend and you being at Great Dane or neighborhood markets or whatever, it makes sense now because you were putting yourself out there. People were asking, who's that girl? Why is she always there? But they were asking and they were following me, and it was also helping me to know, like, to get to know other people in the industry that I want to be in. So fast forward to now, I think my blog has been running for 6 years. It focuses on fashion, lifestyle, and travel, which is like my main focus for this year. And as slow as my following on social media has become, I feel like the quality of the content has become so much better to what it was in 2011. And yeah, I feel like now I'm my own boss. I create content, I curate the content for brands. I have enough credibility to approach brands without having to wait for them to come to me to say, hey, we have a campaign. And I'm literally a digital entrepreneur. That's my 9 to 5. That's what I do full time. And I don't ever see myself going back. And And that's my story. So if you guys have any questions, then yeah.